everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. Today I have with us, he's a director, and he has a movie that's crowdfunding out right now and is going into production shortly. And it's called Necromance. I have with us the director, TJ Kiss. TJ, welcome to the Horror Room.
Travis, thanks so much for having me on, man. I'm really appreciative of this. Thank you so much.
Man, it's just a pleasure having you on, man. So tell us a little bit about Necromance.
Necromance is a high school horror comedy. Essentially, it's takes the high school it girl, and she's got it all right, and she casts a spell to keep her and her boyfriend together forever. And then the consequences are just disastrous. And just things go haywire.
So, what gave you the inspiration for this movie?
So this story actually, I have a co-writer and co-producer on this named Sean Clark. So about 2 years ago, he reached out to me with a little short film called Necromance. It was about 20 pages he had that he wanted me to direct. And I really liked the story, but at that time, I was just completing filming my short film Renters, and I was like, "There's no way I'm going to have time to shoot another one." But I was like, "Let's make a small little proof of concept short, build something," you know what I mean? And after we made that, I said, let's take our script, this 20-page script, and let's make it a feature length, because I think there's a story here that we can tell. So with his blessing, I took his baby and raised it from a short film into a now feature length film that we've coded to bring it to life, and now we're pushing forward to make it. So it's been 2 years in the making, a very slow process that's been building, but so far we followed the plan we started with, and everything has gone exactly what we wanted to do so far, amazingly. So knock on wood, that's going to continue going forward, but we're really excited to get going.
Amazing. Now I have a question. Now, filming location, what city and state have you decided to film the movie in?
I'm based on Long Island as my entire team, and that's where we're going to film everything in all likelihood. Right now, we're still searching for a school location, because a lot of this film takes place in a school. So we're a school or school setting, which is one of the main reasons for the crowdfund, is to help assist in the costs associated with the location, and also some of the effects and props and wardrobe and stuff like that we'll be looking for. But also in other places on Long Island, like a friend of mine, I'm going to be shooting a lot at his house. I'm going to be able to take care of a lot of the other parts of the script that don't require a location. I'll be able to do that at a much better cost than I would if it was not my friend. Let's put it that way. So, it's a good situation for me. As always, I have a term I use, film family. And so anybody associated with me in any project that I do, I tell you, you're part of my film family now. And so this is an opportunity where I'm pulling all of the film family together to try and make something great. And so it's nice to be able to do that and give that to everybody who's helped me a little bit along the way, and have this really great project that we all really like that we can do together.
Now, how hard is it to get a school to allow you to film your movie there? Is that a hard process, or?
I'll let you know as soon as it's done. I really have not. I've done some very minor. Now I do have some people that I've met along the way that have joined the film family, who have connections to school, stuff like that, who are looking into helping me do that. Now there are also sets that I can rent that I can use to cover a lot of what I need. Like I need a gymnasium, I need classrooms, I need like an office. I can find all that stuff to make it work. It's just going to be way more economical, even, and actually the production value is just, you can't discount that. If I'm shooting in an actual school, the production value will be insane. So that's going to be the goal. That's always been the goal, to get that. It's not easy, because I'm waiting until I complete the crowdfund, so at least I can go with an idea of what I have in my pocket to pay, and I can really figure out, even if it's I get a school only for parts of it, and then I choose the parts that really will translate best onto the screen in that setting. Versus, a classroom, I can kind of do a classroom anywhere. If I get a room that looks enough and I can get some desks in there, I can make it work. But I'd rather have everything obviously where I'm in an actual school where it would just be way better to do. But so we're going to do the best we can and see what we do. But the plan is always to try and do that.
Now, are you're going to give this movie like a '80s slasher vibe?
Um, maybe in parts it does. Yeah, yeah, it will. Definitely going to Lori. I'm going to be working with people with a lot of ties to trauma entertainment. Um,
Nice.
one of whom, Steve Lewis, who has worked on a lot of trauma products. He actually did all the effects on my short film Renters. And he and I went to high school together, so that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
long time. And then that now is coming back, and we're working together, which is fun. And then Jen Feldy is doing makeup and some of the effects as well, and she's done a lot of products with trauma, and she's worked with me on a ton of stuff so far. So they're really talented. They have really good ideas. They're really excited about it, and so that's all I can ask for. I mean, if they're gonna, that's gonna mean that their work is gonna be amazing, and I can't, I'm gonna do everything I can to cover and pay and all that stuff. For all their costs and supplies and everything like that. But their enthusiasm is what I can't pay for, and that's going to make it go way over the top with whatever they do.
Now, how important as an indie filmmaker, horror filmmaker, to have the right team behind you, the right support system, the I would say individuals who are professionals.
I mean, it's the only way to do it. If you have that as an independent filmmaker, you're in real trouble. The way I look at it is like I need everybody to want what I'm making, what I wrote and I'm directing to be as great as I want it to be, because that's the only way it's going to happen. Again, in everything, I have not paid anybody act in anything that I've done thus far, and that's because I don't have the ability to do so. If I did, I would. But everybody who's worked on stuff with me, they've all been like really wanting it to be as good as like I want it, and that's why things have come out as good as I feel they have. So that's like the way to do it like this. And I've made that decision in some castings where, for example, when I was casting for Jean in this film, who's like the second lead and Birdie's friend, I had an actress who probably fit the look I had in my head more, and she was great when she read. Like, she read amazing. But in those moments in between reads, and it could just be how this person is, but I saw and got a distinct feeling of like no energy, not like kind of just going through the motion and reading, which is great. But for someone like me, I need more. I'd rather have somebody who might not be as gifted, but is still talented, but is just like really enthused and energetic about it, even when the camera's not rolling. That makes all the difference, because that's again the stuff that you can't create, you can't manufacture. In my professional life, I'm a restaurant manager, and I always say, like, when I hire an employee, like, I hire people who are just, I think, are nice people, because I can't teach people to smile. I can
Yeah.
teach them to do all the stuff I need them to do. So the same sort of thing is going to have to translate into the filmmaking, where like, and even more so, because I really need you. That brings all the creativity and out, and makes me better at what I'm doing when you're pushing me because you're super excited and you're like, I want to do this. What if we did this? And like, oh man, that opens my mind up even more, and on the spot, and we can come up with really cool stuff.
So how do you deal with? Because I mean, not all, but some actors and actresses can be divas. They can be pain in the asses. How do you deal with that as a filmmaker?
I will say, luckily, I don't think I've had really too many issues where I've had to deal with anything like that. I will say that there was one evening when we were shooting Renters, and so Renters we shot. It was a 35-minute short film. We shot it in 2 days, and we shot all day, both of those 2 days. For the majority of the film was shot then. And at the end of that first day, there was a dinner scene that was taking place. I had I don't know, 3, 6, 8 actors, all like, my 6 or 7 other people, including me, working around, and everybody said it was very, very tense. Now that worked out great for the scene because it needed to be tense, but it was very, very tense, and so I kind of felt like I had to sort of tread lightly because, again, as somebody who, again, like all these people are volunteering, so I kind of don't want to. I don't feel like I have really the right to be like a real, for lack of a better term, dick, or you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
and really like honest, and because again, I need them to be into this and collaborate. That's the way I look at it. Like we're working together on this. You're not working for me. You're working with me because I'm not. If I'm not paying you, then that's the way it is. So in that moment when it was tense, I sort of tried to just make jokes and kind of alleviate and kind of just keep things moving. So in moments in between when we cut and maybe people start to bicker a little bit because everybody's like, like, all right, let's just reset 3, 2, 1 and go. And then everybody just gets back into it. And then you just keep it moving and you can kind of get past that. And then once you wrap that, everybody breathes a sigh of relief and you move on to the next part of it. With that movie, then we shot a sequential scene of like a party scene. So everybody got to act kind of like fools, which really leavened it up and everybody ended up having a decent time at the end of that night, which was a 14 or 15-hour day. It was a very, very long day, but it came out good.
Hey, I'm gonna pause for 1 second, okay? So, when it comes to gore in your movie, are we going to see any practical effects, or are you going to be using a lot of CGI mostly?
Oh no, probably as much practical effects as possible. I don't. That's one area where I have not found anybody to rope into the film family yet with CGI and stuff like that. I have had some help with some editing to make stuff look a little bit better, but it'll be mainly practical effects, which I mean that's fine.
I love it.
That's what I've envisioned in my head all along as I've been picturing this film. So it's no worries here.
All right, all right. So as you know, this is our horror. Up before I ask that, you have a crowdfunding going on. What are some excellent perks that you have right now?
Okay, so some of the incentives we have, we start with the lowest, contribution, which is 15, and the Necromance account and my account on Instagram and Twitter, and we'll give you the social media shout outs. For 25, you get a thank you video from me. I'm sorry. For 25, you get the card, a thank you card. So it's a digital little poster of Necromance. I have 2 that I'm going to use, so you'll get one of the 2, and it'll have a personalized thank you message on there to you. $50, you can get the thank you video from me. And then I have 2 different $75 options. One is to get your name on the actual screen listed under my film family. There's also another 75, which will get you on the special thanks on your IMDb. And then if you want to do both, I have it for 120. You can get a discounted rate to do that. And then like the couple highest incentives for $200, I'm going to have every actor and everybody working on the film sign the script. And
Nice.
I think I'm going to probably make about 20 of those available, and we'll send them out after we wrap shooting to everybody. And there's some, you can get some producer credits for 150 and stuff like that. So there's a good variety of different things on there. And then there's another couple where you can lend me your voice. So I have a couple opportunities where I can use a voice. I have it's a school, so I can have announcements and stuff like that. I can have voices coming off on the side and stuff like that, where I can. Yeah, if you want to do that, you can do that too. If not, no big deal. You know what I mean? But I figured, why not? That's a fun little opportunity for somebody. Something I would like jump at if it was me. But
all right. So as you know, TJ, this is a horror channel. So I'm going to ask you a random horror question. Are you ready?
Oh boy, sure.
Okay. Rank your top 5 favorite Halloween movies. Like 5. I mean, 1 being the best, all the way down to 5.
Okay. So let's see. Number 1 is going to be the original, no question.
Yes.
I mean, that's one of the ones that got me into enjoying horror. And then I really like the Rob Zombie, the first Rob Zombie Halloween movie. I know a lot of people don't,
It's okay.
but I
It's
don't know.
okay.
I like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a different take on it. It's not just um, you know, just another trying to. I felt it was a different take on the whole Michael
Lore.
Myers character, and see, yeah, well, definitely, it's his style, that's for sure. There's no question about that. Let's see, the second Halloween, probably number three. Um, Man, I don't remember the number, but the one where the kid at the end dressed up as the clown.
Oh, that
Is
was
that
part 4.
four? Yeah. Okay. So part four, and then like Season of the Witch. People like I remember I will say this. I only saw Season of the Witch when I was like a young teenager, and I didn't like it then because then I was just like it was not Michael Myers, so I was not
Yeah.
really interested. So I have to watch it again to really make a judgment on that. So I can't put that one on the list in any way, shape, or form. Um, so anyway, I'm at four, right? I need
Yep.
one more. I need to come up with the last one. Um, it's been so long since I've watched any of the Halloween movies. I've had kids. I've had kids for like 10 years now. So or 7 years now. So my ability to watch anything has been severely diminished. Um, but I, it's like I don't like any of the ones with the later ones with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
The
Even
last
the
few
first
I was
one?
not. That's one Busta Rhymes, right?
No, no, no. The
No,
2018 one.
and you know, I did not see that.
Ooh,
Yeah, I know. Look,
it's a good
people are going
one.
to hate me, and I understand that. I understand that for sure. Um, but I will say this: my relationship to horror is very interesting. Um, like I was introduced to horror when I was like 7 or 8 years old by my older cousin, um, and it started with your classic 80s and 70s horror movies, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, um, um, and all the 70s. One of my favorite, the 70s, the animal ones. So like the Killer Bees, Piranha,
Yeah.
Cujo, all that stuff. Cujo, why I'm still afraid of dogs to this day. I don't know the dog. I'm very leery.
There you
Um, and then as we got into the 90s, Scream, I know what you did. I know what you did last summer. But then as we got into the 2000s, I don't know. I kind of fell out of love with horror for like a long time,
Wow.
and I didn't watch a lot of stuff. Um, and then it's interesting that it wasn't. It's not. It isn't really because it was horror that kind of sort of bring me back. But Shaun of the Dead came out, and that like perfect blend of comedy and horror, like
It's a
I don't know,
perfect
like
match.
reawoken my love of the horror and the gore and stuff like that. And then I started to get back into it, and I started to watch, you know, some of the stuff that I missed out on, and I started watching some of the stuff I know that people would suggest to me, like Barbarian. I saw because my friend was like, "You have to
Amazing.
watch it," and it was really, really, really good. I'm glad, I'm glad I watched it. Tusk, like that. Which again, Tusk is one of those there. It's like it's that nice blend of the horror and comedy, which is what I love the most because they go so well together. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Um, yeah. So,
I'm,
I still have not.
yes. Because I was like
I
sitting here
still have
thinking
to.
of my top five. While you were talking, I was like, what is my top five?
What's yours? Yeah, let's hear it. Because
All right, so guys, it's something tough. The original, of course, is my favorite horror movie of all time. So that's number one. Um, See, people are going to be pissed off on my list. Part 4 is number 2. That's with Jamie Lloyd. The 2018, whatever that was, is number 3. I really enjoyed that one. I wish they left it at that one and I didn't make 2 more horrible movies off of it. It was a perfect ending. Part 2, number 4, and I would put Seasons Witch as number 5, but we don't call that. We don't consider it a Halloween movie. So my number 5, I'm gonna have to say H2O. Believe it or not, I'm gonna have to say
Okay.
H2O. Yeah,
Okay.
but
It's not an easy list to try to come up with.
no, it's a hard list because here's my thing. So I'm thinking about number 5. Number 5, I actually liked the second Rob Zombie Halloween better than I did the first one. Believe it or not, and I'm like
Yeah.
tempted to put that at number 5, but H2O. I saw that in the theaters when I was in middle school, and like I just remember. You know what? No, I'm not. It's not H2O, and this is going to cause some shit. Curse of Michael Myers. Curse of Michael Myers is my number 5. The Curse of
All
Michael
right, that
Myers.
is going to cause some shit, but I like it. I like it.
Yes, The Curse of Michael Myers is bumping H2O. It is my number 5, and it's because that was the first Halloween movie I saw in the theaters,
Oh,
and
there you go. So you have the
and it's
nostalgic.
yeah, and it scared the shit out of me. Yeah, that was it. Yep.
I love the second one that takes place in the hospital.
Yes,
That's like what a great setting for Michael Myers to be in. And
and not only that, it was a different Michael Myers from part 1. Like it was, even though they're the same day. This Michael Myers was vicious and he was forceful,
yeah,
and I mean Dick Warlock, the actor who played him, was a completely different Michael Myers from Nick Castle. He was just this unstoppable train,
yeah, and it's almost like way more like just like you said, just anybody in his way. Just like you said in the
Yes.
first one, it was really more just focused on Jamie Lee Curtis, and then in the second one, it was just anyone that it was anywhere around him was gonna die,
Mhm.
and then he was gonna finish it off.
Yep. I 100% agree. All right, TJ, where can everyone find you?
So on Instagram, it's KIGB Productions. Kiss It Goodbye Productions is my production company. Necromance 2024 is the Instagram account for the film. TKiss24 on X. I said Twitter before. Sorry, everybody on X. Um, and and yeah, that's where you can find me. On my YouTube channel is Kiss It Goodbye Productions as well, where you can see some of my earlier shorts and stuff like that. I suggest the Scary Monsters series if you haven't seen that to check that out.
Awesome. Well, listen, go down to the description. There's going to be the link to his YouTube as well as the crowdfunding for Necromance. So definitely
Yes, and
support,
thank you.
support, support.
Please,
TJ?
please,
Yes.
we appreciate any support you can get, and thank you, Travis, so much for this. This was awesome. I really appreciate it, man.
Listen, anytime, man. Listen, you're more than welcome to come on anytime. Actually, when Necromance comes out, I would like you to come back on and we can talk about it.
Oh, for sure, no question. Yeah, that's
All right.
happening. You got it.
Yes. I'm going to hold you to it.
All right, man.
All right. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.